What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Olu Nation. It's still your boy, Roderick Zolunya. And if you don't know that it's your boy, it means that you have not subscribed to the channel. So guys, do me a huge favor. Go down below and subscribe to the channel because we are officially on the road to 1K subscribers. To the OGs of the channel, welcome the new guys. Tell them that here on this channel, we run by two principles. And the first principle is that here, we do not watch porn. And the second principle is that here we do not masturbate. Why? Because those are the first two steps. Those are the first two principles that you have to take to become the best version of yourself as a man in today's world. In today's video, I want us to talk about 9 things that are keeping you average. So let's get right into the video. So gentlemen, 95% of the men in this world today are average. Why? Because they have not yet put in the work to become the best version of themselves, which is to be far from average. Gentlemen, remember, we are all born average. As men, nobody is born with their value. We have to work, earn our value, become something so that we can become the best version of ourselves. So, I've told you, all of us men are born on an equal playing level. All of us are born average. But to go from being average to being far from average to being the best version of yourself as a man, you have to earn it. You have to put in the work and earn your value. Because remember, men become valuable by working for their value, unlike women who are born with their value. Women are, men become. So gentlemen, here are 9 things that are keeping you average. The first thing that is keeping you average is a lack of purpose. So gentlemen, I've told you several times that a man is happiest while building something. Either building their business, building their physique, or building their career. Now, the reason why a lack of purpose makes you average is because you fall into the 95% of the category of men who are not on their purpose, who are not chasing their goals, who are not chasing their dreams, or who are not chasing their ambition. Because I've told you, gentlemen, so many times that most men are not on their purpose. Most men are not on their mission. So, if you start being on your purpose, if you start being on your mission, you omit yourself, you separate yourself from 95% of the men who are not on their purpose. Now, when you start chasing your purpose, you become far from average. Why? Because you have isolated yourself from the 95% of the men who are afraid to chase their purpose. There was a friend of mine who I was talking to. They're also doing YouTube and they want to get back to doing YouTube. And I told them that one of the things that gives you confidence as a man is to be on your purpose. That will make you go from being average to being far from average. So, if you lack a purpose, that makes you an average person. The second thing keeping you average is being out of shape. Gentlemen, being out of shape is a signal that you're average because it signals to people that you are lazy and lack the discipline to control what you put in your mouth, and also you lack the discipline to go after what you want, which is a great or a good physique. Also gentlemen, if you are out of shape, it limits you from getting so many opportunities. Gentlemen, how many times have I told you that most business people do not like working with people who are out of shape? Because how can somebody trust you with their business if you yourself are not able to take care of your own body, which is the only body that you have to live in for the rest of your life? The third thing keeping you average, gentlemen, is having low value friends. Now gentlemen, I personally believe that you need to hang around people who force you to level up. You need to hang around people who are happy whenever you succeed, not people who try to bring you down or who try to pull you back like crabs in a bucket. Do you guys know why people say that you should not hang around friends who pull you back like crabs in a bucket. Because when you take a group of crabs and put them in a bucket, when one crab tries to escape, these other crabs, instead of letting this one crab escape so that they can also escape, they try to pull the crab that is trying to escape back. Why? Because they're afraid that when this one crab escapes, they'll no longer be able to die with them. Remember guys, misery loves company. So make sure you hang around friends who bring out the best in you. Hang around friends who force you to level up, not around friends who are afraid of your potential, not around friends who try to pull you back whenever you go to them with an idea that you want to improve yourself. The fourth thing keeping you average is being lazy. Now gentlemen, I personally believe that there are no ugly guys, just lazy guys. So if you're a man and you're lazy, just know that being lazy keeps you average. If you want to go from being average to being far from average, you have to start putting in effort in everything you're doing. You have to start putting in effort in your purpose. You have to start putting in effort in your fitness and also your dressing. Just take some little time and put in effort in everything you're doing, including dressing and including grooming. Just put in a little bit more effort than other men. Other men are lazy. That will keep them average. You, if you want to become far from average, you have to put in effort in everything you're doing. Remember, there are no ugly guys, gentlemen, just lazy guys. The fifth thing keeping you average is refusing to constantly learn. Gentlemen, there's a guy, a very, very popular Greek philosopher called Socrates, and on his deathbed, Socrates said that the only thing I know is that I know nothing. So what makes you and I think that we know anything? And that's one of the biggest things keeping most of you men average, is refusing to constantly learn. Gentlemen, you have to always be constantly learning and improving if you want to become the best version of yourself. The sixth thing keeping you average is being complacent. Now gentlemen, a comfort zone is a very nice place, but nothing grows there. If you want to become far from average, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Remember gentlemen, as a man, comfort is your kryptonite. So if you want to stop being average, stop being comfortable, stop being complacent, always want to keep on improving and always want to keep on learning so that you can become the best version of yourself. I usually tell my fellow men that make sure you learn something new every day. The seventh thing keeping you average is chasing women. Now, gentlemen, chasing women is one of the, if not the biggest downfall for most men. Remember, lust is something that has been talked about even in the Bible. It has made nations, kingdoms, and states fall. So gentlemen, one of the biggest things, if not the biggest things, keeping you average is chasing women. Why? Because women are a distraction to a man who is on a purpose to become the best version of himself. Women are a distraction to a man who wants to go from being average to being far from average. The eighth thing keeping you average, gentlemen, is watching porn and masturbating. Now gentlemen, how many times when I start my videos have I told you that we run by two principles on this channel, and that is, the first principle is we don't watch porn here, and number two, we do not masturbate. The reason is because aside from making you feel like a loser, aside from objectifying women, aside from bringing your confidence down, watching porn and masturbating makes you and will leave you average for the rest of your life. Gentlemen, I cannot tell you how many men I've sat down and talked to, and they've told me that overcoming to watch porn and masturbating is one of the biggest reliefs that they ever had once they overcame porn addiction and masturbating is when they realized that watching porn and masturbating was keeping them average. The ninth and final thing keeping you average is hating on others. Now, gentlemen, remember, hate never comes from above, it comes from below. Meaning, if you hate someone, you are below them. Now, to me, I believe that if you hate on others, you're average. And instead of hating on others, why don't you take it as inspiration so that they can inspire you? You work hard, you work on yourself. Remember, gentlemen, the harder you are on yourself, the easier your life becomes. So work on yourself, become hard on yourself, and look up to these people who are more successful than you instead of hating on them. Hating on others, gentlemen, just keeps you average. So, gentlemen, those, in my opinion, is a list of the 9 things that are keeping you average. We've come to the end of the video, gentlemen. If this information might be helpful to anyone, do not hesitate to share this video with them. Also, drop a huge like on the video if this information was helpful to you. Comment your thoughts down below if you've got any ideas for future videos or any contradictions with whatever I'm saying in these videos. The comment section is open for you guys below. Also, very important of all, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel because we are officially on the road to 1K subscribers. Turn on post notifications to never miss a video whenever I make an upload. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. All Nation, we out. Peace and love, guys.